My first business cost me $10,000 in 2 years of my life, and it failed spectacularly. I had a 40-page business plan, a perfect pitch deck. I'd rehearsed 1,000 times. I did everything by the book, but I was missing the one thing that actually mattered. And it had nothing to do with getting funding or mastering marketing or having some revolutionary idea. So forget everything you think you know about starting a business. The sleepless nights, perfecting a business plan, the endless hunt for venture capital, the obsession over every little product feature. That's not where the real work happens. The real startup isn't the company you build, it's the mindset you install. It's what you have here. What you actually need is an entrepreneurial spirit. An entrepreneurial mindset, if you will. In this video, Introduction to Entrepreneurial Mindset, I'm going to show you how to reboot your own mental operating system and turn your biggest failures into your most valuable asset. YouTube, understand that there are actually two kinds of mindsets when it comes to business. You're either working for someone or you're working for yourself. You have either what I call the worker's mindset or the entrepreneurial mindset. Let me explain. The worker's mindset is someone who works for someone else. Now, understand there is absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. They go to work every day, and when an issue comes up or a problem that needs solving or anything that deals with adversity, they consult a friend, a coworker. Maybe they contact their boss or their supervisor, boss's assistant. They may even consult a manual that dictates and outlines doctrine on how to handle said issues. And again, that's perfectly fine. That's supposed to happen. However, the difference between the two mindsets is this. The person who has the entrepreneurial mindset can actually go through the same situation. They can have the same issue or problem, but the difference is this. They just know and understand inherently how to fix it. They know how to work around it. They understand how to work through it. If needed, they can go right over it. One doesn't need validation or a further understanding. They just know what needs to be done because it is the right thing to do. There's a huge difference between the two. Understand, YouTube familia, in life in general, there are two types of people, those who think they can and those who think they can't. 99.9% of the time, you are 1000% of what you believe. The person who thinks they can will absolutely find a way to figure it out. And the person who thinks they can't, well, they never will. And that's just how life is. In general, whatever you think is exactly what your reality is. If you'd like to learn more and understand better about what I'm saying, simply watch this video right here. But now, let's talk about how to fix it. And we're going to fix it in 3 easy sections. Section number 1, the old way, the broken mental operating system. Now, let's be honest. The default mindset most of us have when we start out is completely broken. It's an operating system built on one single terrifying premise: do not fail. This fear becomes the central processor for your entire journey. It dictates every decision, every action, and worse, every inaction. It's that low humming anxiety in the background making you second guess every single move. This fear is the root of so many problems. It's why we spend 6 months writing a business plan instead of 3 weeks talking to actual customers. It's why we get stuck in what I call analysis paralysis, endlessly tweaking a logo or a website feature, because launching something that isn't perfect feels like a failure we've gift wrapped for ourselves. This fear of failing is the parent of all entrepreneurial fears. It shows up as imposter syndrome, that nagging voice whispering, "Who are you to do this? You don't have the experience, the degree, the track record." You start to believe you're just not good enough. Does this sound familiar? We're taught to build a full suit of armor before we've even seen the battlefield. We write the perfect plan, secure the funding, design the flawless product. We think if we prepare enough, we can somehow de-risk the whole venture and sidestep the possibility of falling flat on our face. But this whole approach is a trap. It's like trying to learn how to swim by reading a library book on fluid dynamics instead of just jumping in the water. The hard truth is that entrepreneurship isn't a straight line you can perfect on paper. It's a messy, chaotic, and totally unpredictable trip into the unknown. Nearly every successful founder has a history of falling short, losing, and learning things the hard way. By building our entire mental framework around avoiding failure, we ironically guarantee the one thing that we're actually trying to prevent. We get so scared of making the wrong move that we don't make any big moves at all. We become rigid, slow, and fragile. And when an unexpected challenge hits, let's say a market shift, a new competitor, a global pandemic, our perfectly created plan, it just shatters. And because our operating system sees failure as a fatal error, the whole system just crashes. This isn't just a professional setback for a lot of founders. It feels personal, like a judgment on their self-worth. Section 2, The epiphany, installing the new operating system. My turning point came after my first business completely imploded. I was just sitting in my apartment surrounded by boxes of useless inventory and a mountain of credit card debt. I'd followed the blueprint, but the whole building had just collapsed on top of me. For weeks, I just cycled through being angry, blaming everyone, and feeling hopeless. I blamed the market and my lack of connections, the economy, anything but the real issues. The epiphany wasn't some lightning bolt. It was a slow, dawning realization. The problem wasn't the business model, it was the product. The problem was actually me. Or, more specifically, the mental software I was running. The operating system was programmed for the world of certainty and straight lines, but I was trying to survive in the chaotic world of entrepreneurship. That's when it hit me. The real startup, the one that truly matters, is the one that happens inside your head. Before you build a company, you have to rebuild yourself. You have to uninstall that old fear-based operating system and install a new one, an OS designed for resilience, learning, and actual growth. The core of this new mindset is a single powerful reframe. Failure is not an endpoint, it's a feature. It's not a bug in the system. It's a critical part of how the system learns and gets better. Think of it this way. Failure is just the tuition you pay for your real world MBA. Every mistake, every flop, every rejection is a lesson. The first failed business, the one that cost me $10,000 in 2 years of my life, it wasn't a total loss. It was the most expensive, but also the most valuable education I'd ever gotten. It taught me about cash flow. It taught me about finding customers and managing inventory in a way no textbook ever could. Walking away with only $2,000 left to my name felt devastating at the time, but looking back, that experience paved the way for everything that came next and made me the person that I am today. Or, if you're a tech person, think of failure as data. Every time an experiment doesn't work, you haven't failed, you've just produced a valuable data point. This data tells you what your customers don't want, which marketing channel doesn't work, which feature isn't as important as you thought. In a world of uncertainty, this data is gold. It's the feedback loop that lets you iterate, pivot, and navigate your way towards something that works. The mental toughness to see setbacks as learning opportunities isn't just helpful, it's everything. This one shift changes the entire game. When failure is no longer a threat to your identity, but a tool for your education, the world opens up. You stop trying to be perfect and start trying to learn. You stop avoiding risks and you start running smart experiments. The fear doesn't just vanish, but its power over you does. It's no longer a master you have to obey, but just as a signal you acknowledge as you keep moving forward. When you embrace failure as feedback, you become unstoppable. Section 3, the proof and the how-to. This isn't just some nice theory, it's how almost every successful entrepreneur you can think of operate. These aren't people who dodge failure, they are masters of us using it. Think about Steve Jobs. The guy was famously fired from Apple, the company he co-founded. For most people, that would be a career-ending humiliation. It was a massive public failure, but Jobs didn't see it. He didn't see it as a dead end. He later said that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that he could have had ever happened to him. Why? Because it forced him to be a beginner again. He went on to found Next, which had the tech that Apple would eventually buy, bringing him back to the company. His failure was the first thing that led to his epic return in the creation of the iMac, the iPod, and the iPhone. He didn't just bounce back, he used the failures as a launch pad. Or look at the story of Evan Williams, a co-founder of the podcasting startup called Odeo. Their entire business was about to be made worthless overnight when Apple announced that iTunes would include a free podcasting platform. Total failure. The company was toast, but instead of giving up, Williams and his team started spitballing other ideas. A little side project they had been tinkering with, a micro-blogging platform, suddenly became the main focus. This side project is now known as Twitter. They literally failed their way to a multi-billion-dollar idea because their first plan fell apart. Their greatest success was hiding right behind what looked like a total catastrophe. These titans of industry aren't a different species. They just installed a better mental OS, and you can too. This isn't a personality trait you're born with. It's a set of skills and attitudes you can build. So how do you start installing this new OS today? Well, it boils down to 4 key shifts. First, you're going to prioritize progress over perfection. Perfectionism is the ultimate enemy of the entrepreneur. It's just procrastinating in a fancy suit. It's the voice that tells you it's not ready yet, just one more tweak. This leads to endless delays and watching opportunities pass you by. The new rule is simple. Take action now. Make quick, messy, imperfect versions of your stuff and then make them better as you go. The goal isn't to launch a perfect product, it's to launch an imperfect one and let the market's feedback guide you toward perfection. You need to become an imperfectionist. Your actionable step is to adopt the 70% rule. As soon as a project, a blog, a post, a feature, or a pitch is about 70% good, ship it. Get it out of there. You will learn more from one day of real-world feedback on a 70% solution than you will from 6 months of perfecting something in a cave. It feels weird at first, but it builds momentum, and the momentum is the lifeblood of any startup. Second, you need to cultivate a growth mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck talks about two mindsets, fixed and growth. People with the fixed mindset believe their talents are set in stone. They see challenges as risks to their ego. But people with the growth mindset believe skills are built through dedication and hard work. They see challenges as chances to learn and get better. Every successful entrepreneur runs on a growth mindset. They are lifelong learners who know they don't have all the answers. When they hit a wall, their first question is, can I do this? But how can I learn to do this? There's a difference. Your actionable step is to actively seek out what you don't know. Give yourself permission to be a total amateur. This week, pick one area of your business where you feel weak. Maybe it's financial models, social media, or public speaking. Now, instead of avoiding it, dedicate 3 hours to learning about it. Watch tutorials, read articles, and even better, find someone who's an expert and ask them dumb questions. Giving yourself permission to be a beginner takes all the pressure and turns your weakness into exciting new skills to build. Third, shift from scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. The scarcity mindset tells you the world is a zero-sum game. If someone else wins, you lose. It whispers that the market is saturated, all the good ideas are taken, and everyone is your competitor. This thinking just leads to isolation and defensiveness. The abundance mindset sees the world as packed with opportunities. It believes collaboration makes the pie bigger for everyone. There are endless problems to solve and endless ways to create value. People with this mindset build networks from partnerships and share what they know freely, understanding that a rising tide lifts all boats. They collect friends, not just hoard opportunities. Your actionable step is to practice proactive generosity. This week, connect 2 people in your network who would benefit from knowing each other and expect absolutely nothing in return. Or find an entrepreneur who's one step behind you and offer them 30 minutes of your time to share a lesson you've learned the hard way. This simple act starts rewiring your brain to see the power in building a community, not just a fortress. Fourth and most important, act as if your success is inevitable. This is important. This isn't just wishful thinking. This is about building a stubborn faith in your own ability to figure things out while being flexible enough to change how you do it. It's a deep down belief that while the path will be winding and full of setbacks, the destination is fixed. You will get there. This mindset gives you the gift to push through the emotional roller coaster of entrepreneurship, the doubt, the fear, and the burnout. When you believe your success is inevitable, you act differently. You invest in yourself. You hire coaches, you build routines that support your long-term vision. You don't get thrown off by one failed launch or a harsh review because you see it as just one scene in a much longer movie. A movie you already know has a happy ending. Your actionable step is to create a success is inevitable mantra. Write it down, put it on a sticky note or your monitor. My success is inevitable. I will learn, I will adopt, and I will persist until I win. Whenever you feel that doubt creeping in, repeat it. This isn't about fooling yourself. It's about consciously choosing to focus on your long-term vision instead of your short-term fear. Now, for years, the entrepreneurial world has sold us a lie. The lie is if you just have the right idea, the right funding, and the right business plan, you'll succeed. But look around at all the ghosts of failed companies. They all had all three. The missing piece was never about external stuff. It has always been the internal framework of the founder. It's your mindset, not just your skill set, that determines if you win. So stop trying to build a failure-proof business. It doesn't exist. Instead, focus on building a failure-proof self. Install the operating system that thrives on challenges, that turns setback into fuel, and that sees every obstacle as a lesson in disguise. Stop trying to avoid failure. Stop seeing it as the judgment on your worth. Start seeing it for what it is: data, tuition, and your single greatest strategic weapon. The real world journey isn't from ideal to IPO. It's from fear of resilience. Your startup is not your company. You are the startup. Now it's just time to build. You 1000% can absolutely do it. Why not you? Why can't it be you? It absolutely can be you. You just have to believe and walk in the light, my friend. If you're ready to stop playing not to lose and start playing to win by building this unstoppable mindset, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and join our channel membership. We're just getting started, and I'm sharing everything I've learned about rebooting your mental OS for your success. So click that subscribe button and let me know in the comments, what is the biggest failure that taught you your most valuable lessons? I'm interested to know, and I read every single comment. Let's put some hustle behind that muscle. And like every new business, you will almost certainly need new and fresh leads. Here.